are back with another one. 345 Sports. Myself, Dens, no Caps, SB. How you guys doing?
SB, how you doing?
I'm decent. How you man doing?
Boy. Boy. Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, man. Another week of Premier League action. Biggest game of the weekend just finished. Manchester Derby. Man United 0, Man City 3. Let's get straight into it, man. Yeah, a kickabout for Man City, basically.
Once again,
yeah. Kickabout. Yeah, another terrible performance. A lot of questions for ETH right now. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the game?
let's start the lineup. What do you think like that? I feel like it's like almost like damning. I don't know who to blame for that lineup from United.
The manager. Who else
And
do you blame?
for the amount you spend,
Exactly.
and that's your lineup.
Yeah.
Going into the biggest game of the season.
The only question we should be asking Eric Ten Hag right now is what flight do you want? That's it. That's what flight do you want out of Old Trafford? We need to sack him in the morning. Pack his luggage, get rid of him. Osama Ten Hagen. Osama Ten Hagen. He's a criminal. He's a terrorist. That was terrorist football. I can't believe what I saw. He's got to go. He is at fault for this performance. The first half we wasn't great, but City wasn't really doing much with the ball. And he decided to take off Amrabat. I don't know what he did in McTominay. He brought on Mount, and the game was dead. City was just running through that midfield.
But to be fair, you guys did well. You had a couple of chances in the beginning. If you had better decision making in the final third, you could be 1-0 up. And then the ref took it. Once you went 1-0 down with that penalty, it's basically over from then. I feel like the refs did you wrong today, and the first goal matters in this game especially.
It does, but the thing is, how many times have teams come to Old Trafford, outplayed us, beaten us? It happens too often. You can blame the referee for the first goal to say penalty was harsh. It was, but the second goal, third goal, that wasn't on the referee.
But if you didn't get given that penalty, I don't think you would have conceded. I feel like with Man City, they weren't creating nothing super clear cut. And once you do that, United need to come out, heads will drop. It's a knock-on effect. And I feel like, obviously, there's a wider conversation to have with the people in the team. Ten Hag, should he stay, should he go? But for that moment, how soft that was, they didn't.
I'm not blaming the ref. I'm not blaming the ref because, it was harsh. But the thing is, it's a penalty. It's harsh, but it's a penalty. By the rules of the game, it's a penalty. As harsh as it is, life is harsh, but it's still life.
There should be 5 penalties a game then.
Yeah, but in life, it's stuff you can say something's harsh. Something being harsh doesn't mean it isn't justified. It's a penalty.
SB,
and then we'll go down.
It's difficult to explain because people from the outside will have one view and Man United fans will have another view. People outside of Man U or that are not Man U fans will have the same view that you do, SB. I guarantee if you go on the internet and look at people's reactions, you talk to Man United fans about this game, they're not complaining about this decision because this was an L anyway. Man United were going to lose anyway. And that's the feeling
that's what we will have. Like we knew we was going to lose.
That's the feeling that Man United fans have. And if you ask Man United fans, I'm sure most of them will tell you the same answer. That decision didn't affect the outcome of the game in the end.
I hear what you're saying. You're right. You are right, and you were expected to lose today. But at the very least, at the beginning, Ten Hag would tell his team, "Don't give them nothing easy," and they got given something easy. And that's that. I mean, and you had a good first half. You actually did have a good first half. You got to say that it was decent. Actually, it wasn't great, but it was decent.
As decent as it is, you're playing Manchester City. It's a derby. You're at home. This is your rivals. Your biggest rivals in the same city. Even if you concede first, you should have enough about you to fight back. But as soon as we concede, our heads go down. That's it. Game plan out of the window. So even if it's harsh, it's on the team. As soon as you concede, this is your biggest rival. You're trying to stop him from embarrassing you at home. but then you roll over and let them use it for ritual sacrifice. And every season they do the same thing to us. They come to Old Trafford, use us for sacrifice, and they go on to win the league. This is just their early. They've sacrificed us. Now they're going to go and win the league. That's it. Okay, the league is done. I blame the manager completely. Yeah, I'm Glazers out, but that was not the Glazers' fault today. That was all on the manager. Starting Bruno on the right, every time he starts on right, he doesn't do anything. Bruno doesn't do anything in general, but on the right, we know he's a ghost. He's not good enough on the right. I see why he played Eriksen for creativity, but you shouldn't play Eriksen box to box. You don't have the legs to do box to box. If you're gonna play Bruno on the right, Eriksen should be playing in a 10 role, but he's got McTominay there because he's flavor of the month. That's on the manager. Rashford hasn't played well in about 7 months, still starting. And the manager himself said this week, yeah, he's not on form, but I'm going to keep playing him till he gets back on form. So you're sacrificing other players to play this player back into. So that's on the manager. Left back, Victor Lindelof. You've got what's his name? That guy from Spurs. He's
Reggaeton.
He's available. But
I couldn't believe that when he came on. I was like, "Wow, he's available."
he's available, but you got Lindelof left back, and he's not. He doesn't do nothing on the left. So that's on the manager.
Yeah, I thought
it's on the manager. Martial's one of our better players. Brought him on in the 85th minute.
That
Martial is not the type of player you bring on in the 85th minute.
To do what?
85th minute. He's not going
to
come
3-0 down.
Yeah, that was Some of the decisions were terrible from ETH. After
half time, you could have taken any one of the midfielders off. I don't know how Scott McTominay escaped, but he took off Amrabat. Yeah, you could say he was on a yellow card, but we was actually doing decent in the midfield. Took off Amrabat, brought in Mount. Where was Mount playing? Where was McTominay playing? After second half, after those substitutions, tactics out the window. City just barbecue chicken.
The problem is Man United have not been playing well, and it's like he tried to play Man City straight up. If you know what I mean, he didn't try to play like Man City are the better team, which they are. So he didn't try to set Man United up to be hard to beat. The tactics, I don't know what the tactics were, but it looked like he was trying to impose his style on Man City, and there's not really a solid style at Man U right now. So the correct tactics would have been solid, be hard to beat. And then, I agree that Amrabat substitution, it was stupid. If you want to be, we were down, we needed more attacking emphasis, but you do that later on. You don't do that at half-time, because what could happen in terms of Man City getting that second goal and killing the game. What you want to happen is be solid, don't concede for the first 15, 20 minutes, and then you take off at Amrabat and you bring on a more attacking player like Mount or a Martial or a Garnacho. Not the 85th minute, or you don't do it at half-time. So, his decision-making in that aspect, I completely disagree with it. The starting lineup, I wasn't feeling it. Tactics, Man United looked like a bunch of individuals on the pitch. A lot of questions for ETH right now, man.
But don't you think Arsenal gave you the blueprint just a couple of weeks ago? You got to keep it tight.
Yeah.
See, Man City, I feel like if you don't give them nothing, they won't. How to explain this? If you defend properly against them, defend compact, they find it sometimes hard to break you down because they rely on Haaland a lot actually. And if you keep it tight and keep everything, don't give no gaps away, they're not really going to find it. They're going to find it difficult to score.
But that goes to your point. That goes back to your point, SP, about the first half. We were keeping it tight, but then the manager is the one that shot himself in the foot. We kept it tight, and he made those substitutions that opened up the window for Man City to run through. And when they saw that crack in the window, they just came and robbed the house.
That's the thing, and to the point you're making, SP, especially with Grealish in the team, it's the cut back. Mr. Indirect. He's not
predictable. It's predictable.
Yeah, he's not going to break a line. He's not going to beat a man one-on-one and then create that chance. So it would have been easy just to be solid. But that didn't happen. And Man City walking apart for them, man. Walking apart.
But I think Pep. So that's what you're saying?
No, I was just about to say Foden. I haven't really seen much of him. He always turns up against Man U. Turned up again, got his goal.
I feel United, like, even if you wanted to keep it tight, what was happening is that Bruno was running. No, Bernardo Silva, sorry, Bernardo was running off. Say for example, Dallo would go out to Grealish. There's a gap there. He'll run off the midfield, and no one's going with him. So it's a 2v1, and that happened for, I think,
The second goal.
second goal. So like
Yeah,
that
when
kept
there's that
happening.
space.
I feel like you either over. This is it. You carry too much pressure. I feel defensively with Rashford, with Bruno, with for example,
Ericsson.
Mount, Ericsson. You need proper, like, when you play Man City, it's a war. Like, it's just keep it tight. Everybody follow your man, and we're just defending for our lives almost. And I feel like attacking wise, your attacking player is not good enough to be carried defensively.
That's what I'm saying.
They're not good enough to be carried defensively.
Yeah.
So that's a bigger context, a bigger problem to look at. Like, and yeah, I just look at the way you're comprised now. It doesn't make no sense. And then Bruno's your captain. Then look, it leads to like people being like too over emotional in the game. I remember I got a yellow card for no reason. Anthony did his madness at the end. For what reason? I feel like everyone is just shouty for no reason, and like there's no calm. There's no calm in the team.
You get that when Bruno's your captain.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And Bruno complains every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Bruno complains every 2 minutes. He's complaining. After the game, he's still talking. I'm like, mate, you had your time to do your thing.
Oh my god!
Bruno talks. He does all of that to hide his lack of ability. I keep saying it every week. Bruno is one of them ones. He talks and shouts and screams and moans so that people can say that he's doing something or he's passionate, so that we can divulge our eyes away from his stinky performances. That's what he does every single week. He'll moan, complain, shout, throwing hands like a diva, just to mask that stench he's left behind. That's what he is. He's a stinky player. And it's the manager's fault. He made Bruno the captain. You made that guy your captain. You've seen what he's like on the pitch. When that's your captain, guess what? The team's going to follow. It's all on the manager. As bad as the Glazers are, today you can't even blame the Glazers. Today it's all on the manager. And he has to get sacked in the morning.
Nah, come on.
He has to go.
It too far, man.
No, I've been saying he should be sacked for a minute. After that performance, he has, because the reason why I'm saying he has to get sacked now, Ange Postecoglou came into Spurs, immediately could see what they're trying to do. They're top of the league. He's implemented a style of football. This manager's had over a season to do something. Over a season. Last season, we didn't do nothing. We was relying on individual brilliances. We was relying on that hot streak from Mashidi to carry us. As much as I don't like that guy, he carried us last season. We was relying on Martinez being good defensively alongside Varane. Not because of what the manager was doing. We was relying on Casemiro. And then when Casemiro started falling off, the team started falling off. Last year, did you see any style or pattern of play that you could say, oh, the ETH brought this in? It was mainly the players carrying the team, not the manager's tactics. And then this year, everything's coming to roost. The players are not doing the heroic football no more. And you can see the outcome of it. The manager's a fraud. He's a bored Ollie. Right now, I'd probably rather have Ollie back, to be honest. This manager's a bored Ollie. He's a Dutch-speaking Ollie. He's got to go. He has to go. That manager is a fraud. And the thing is, the reason why I think he's a fraud, he's made 16 signings and none of them have been good. 16. He brought in Dubravka, Werkhorst, what's his name? Reguilon, Mount, Anthony, Hoyland, Ericsson, all these players, Martinez, Casemiro,
Onana.
Who else? Onana. He's brought so many duds. So many duds. The manager, like the Glazers have backed this guy. They've given him the money to do something. And he's brought in duds after duds. That Anthony and Mount signing, you should be crucified for that. He should have got sacked after signing Mount. Remember, I was saying I was done with him after Mount. Remember how upset I was when we signed Mount? Till this day, but that burns me. Till this day.
Yeah, I was pissed about Mount as well. That signing was a joke. But I wouldn't say ETH out. I think that's too far. The ideal scenario for me would be him as the manager for now. Like, obviously, he's got, like I said, he's got a lot of questions to answer. He's got a lot of problems to fix. I just want the football operations in terms of signings. I want that responsibility taken out of his hands. But
I get that. But with that he's had responsibility. He's had he's been empowered to bring in his own players, and he's done that. He still can't do nothing with his own players. So when that responsibility is now taken out of his hands, and they bring in players that he's identified or players that are not his own players, that means he won't be able to work with them. We've given him the power to bring in his own players and can't work with his own players. So what's he going to do? The manager's not good enough.
I don't know.
Is it a good sign that even if what he's trying to do doesn't look good with his own players, why would he look good
with someone else's players? it's not going to work.
I don't know, man. I think that's
okay. Then what do you need to see from now till, let's say, Christmas?
From now to Christmas, to be honest,
obviously
Christmas is a short period, but I want to see fight for the team. I want to look at the team and say, okay, this team is together. This team's fighting for the manager, because you can't implement a style of play in a month and a half. I know I'm not going to see that. I just want to see fight from the team, and I want to see that the team is still together and the team is fighting for the manager. That's all I can ask for.
So say the team has lost from now till December. The team has lost 6 games, but they're fighting for the manager, fighting for the team. Would you still keep the manager? Like, you're not expecting to see any implementation of a new tactic or style of football, but the players are losing, but not for lack of effort. Then would you say keep the manager? We're still losing, but you can see that there's effort.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't sack ETH this season. I don't think there's a point. So obviously I wouldn't be happy with that, but that wouldn't lead me to say sack the manager.
Okay, outside of sacking ETH, what do you think are your solutions, your next path to green?
The only solution for United is new ownership.
No, excluding that. So I'm talking about who would you like to bring in? Who would you like to see drops? Who would you like to
easy question, man.
What players do you think realistically you can get in January, for example, to help you?
Let's not worry about January, because they've already said we ain't got no money for Jan. So we're not until new owners come in, we ain't got no money for Jan. They've made it clear. So we're not signing no one in Jan. But in terms of players that we've got, I don't want to see Bruno play football again. I'd rather bring in Maino. I know he's a young player, but at this point, there's nothing. What are we playing for?
Okay.
This boy is gonna. I'm telling you, this boy is gonna disappoint wait. This Maino kid, and it's not his fault.
It's not his fault, but the thing is, I want to see right now. There's nothing. We've got nothing going for us. So I want to see what he's about.
So against Newcastle, you Carabao Cup in midweek. You want to see Maino, who in midfield?
I want to see Maino, Amrabat, and Mount in midfield.
Hey, Joe Linton's going to slap
another midfield that hasn't even played together before. No chemistry, nothing.
Hey,
or Casemiro, Amrabat, and Mount. I didn't even like Mount, but I don't want to see Bruno play football again. Or I want to see, or there's options. You could have Casemiro, Amrabat, Eriksen in midfield. Then Amrabat and Casemiro are the two holding players. Eriksen can be the creative player. I think that's decent. Eriksen doesn't have to run as much. Yeah. Focus on creativity. On the right, I want to see Martial come on. I don't want to see Anthony. In the middle, Højlund. I want to see Martial and Højlund play together. On the left, I want to see Garnacho. That's what I'm going with.
I cannot see Martial on any wing. The tracking back there's no tracking back whatsoever. I don't want to see him on a wing. I do want to see them together though, Martial and Højlund, because I think it would be good for both. I think they complement each other.
In order to shoehorn Martial into the team, you'd have to play like a 3-5-2 or something.
I would do 4-2-3-1 and play Martial as a sort of 10. Do you know what I mean? Not a 10, but play.
I know what you mean.
Track or playing off of the main striker.
Yeah, he'll play off the striker, make runs in behind when Højlund holds it up.
Yeah, I would like to see him in that position.
Fair enough. Let's give a shout out to Ngannou too. Ngannou had a good game. He had a good game. If not for him, he would have been like 5-6.
He made some good saves, but there were just some moments of shakiness, man. Hopefully he gets that out of his system, man. But yeah, he had a good game. I'm not going to complain. He had a good game.
Yeah, he did.
Evans and Maguire, they did what they could. They played
Evans impressed me. He impressed me.
You can't blame Evans and Maguire. Them two have come in and done a job for the team.
Yeah,
That's why no one's complaining about them two.
yeah,
They've
no, yeah,
done a job for
exactly.
the team. They're not good enough, but under the circumstances, they've come, put their heads down, and worked for the team. And you have to respect that. There's other players that we need to be getting onto.
But yeah, you know what, Rashford and Bruno, your dynamic duo. Yeah, them two need to be dropped, man. And you brought up the point, El Caps, about Ten Hag saying that Rashford needs to be played into form. I completely disagree with that. You can't be having stinker after stinker after stinker and being rewarded for it. That last season that he had, that was a great season, but that's not him. That's not him. He hasn't shown, apart from that season, he hasn't shown that on a consistent basis. So, and he hasn't shown that this season. That's not him. That was just him having a what's my man for Swansea? Remember that guy? Is it Michu?
Michu.
He just had a Michu season, or and remember Andy Johnson?
Andy Johnson, for Palace, that 121 goal season
Yeah,
went back
he
like
just had an
60
Andy
penalties.
Johnson. That's what it's looking like, because if he's not scoring, there's no contribution whatsoever. And yeah, it's unacceptable at this point. He needs to be dropped. He needs to be dropped. Bruno, I don't care if you're captain. You need to be dropped. It's not good enough. These two need to be dropped. And it's bringing on Garnacho or someone. Find a solution, man. Find a solution, because it's like I said, it's not good enough. And the replacements, Garnacho starting. It's not going to be like a drop off in performance or anything, because Rashford ain't doing anything. His level is here. So bringing Garnacho on is either going to be here, or he might have a little pop in form. The same with Bruno. Take off Bruno, bring on Mount. It's not going to be, at worst, it's going to be the same.
You can hear what you're saying. You're correct, because I feel like, obviously, I'm an Arsenal fan. We're going through Arteta's whole tenure. The only players he hasn't dropped ever
Saka.
is Saka. And he dropped everybody. Everybody
He
can
dropped
get
Odegaard yesterday.
He dropped Odegaard. He dropped Havertz, his big money signing. He don't start him no more. We just started just yesterday because it's Sheffield United, but he's been dropped the last couple of games. He dropped Partey. And Saliba. He hasn't dropped Saliba. He's even dropped Gabriel. He dropped even Ramsdale. He hasn't dropped Ben White, to be fair. There's only like 2 or 3 of them he hasn't ever dropped. But he dropped even Aubameyang, Lacazette. He dropped everybody. And
he beefed Ozil out of the club.
Like, at least at that point, people know, fair enough. Like, you can't just be, you're not getting picked every week because you're the manager's favorite. And I feel like I heard with Sancho's points now, because Sancho says other people are playing ahead of him and they're not doing anything better than what he does. So at some point, even just to prove a point, don't start Rashford. You can bring him on. Don't start Bruno. You can bring him on.
Like, I understand the sentiment, because there's certain players in your team that need to be foundational players.
Yeah,
they set the precedent for the team. In terms of how you want to play and how you want to be on the pitch. So you need continuity in a certain aspect. But there's no style of play at Man U. So what's
and Rashford and Bruno are not foundational players. They're not pillars of your team.
They're complementary play.
Yeah, they're like icing on the cake. You have to get your core of your team, and then they will, like, obviously they're the ones that finish the chances, get the goals.
Yeah, exactly. So drop them.
Sell them, not drop them. Sell them. Like, I'm telling you, I'm gonna celebrate. So I'm gonna be drunk when they sell Bruno. The day they sell Bruno, I'm gonna get drunk. He's terrible. Him and Rashidi, they should go expeditiously. They're terrible.
Oh yeah, quick word on Man City.
Good
routine victory. Haaland, another double. Yeah, Bernardo running the game. Rodri.
Yeah,
they didn't come out gear 2.
What was that?
They didn't come out of second gears. The second half, they were training. They were passing around as they were just training. They were just training.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Man U, so much space in midfield. So much space.
How many times do we say this every week? There's real estates to be bought at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
The space that we need.
You men are getting pulled everywhere, and
yeah,
they're so much more athletic than you. They want a lot of the 50-50s. They want a lot of them.
That's what I'm saying. That's the worrying thing, because you can't fix that with this personnel. There's certain tactical adjustments you can make, but if you ain't got legs or athleticism, that's it. You
Have
can't.
you've seen a Liverpool side with that average? Everyone will call that midfield in their prime, average. Stand up to Man City's all stars,
Yeah,
and
And beat
they beat them because of straight athleticism.
exactly.
So that really can close the gap.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I mean, yeah, the way, yeah, Man City are good. I mean, yeah, they're good.
even Grealish. Grealish came out and had his best game of the season.
But let's not hype Grealish though. That was
No,
decent performance, man. Decent.
it was decent, but the point I'm making is it gets bad when players start coming to Old Trafford and
Yeah,
start balling out.
yeah,
They ain't doing
yeah,
nothing over there, but when you come
yeah.
to Old Trafford, you start playing up.
because the
Mm.
pitch is bigger, the players are worse. So it's like, raw. This is a time to really enjoy yourself. You don't get to play on such a big pitch. You've got more space. The midfield are going to give you ample room to do your thing as well. You're going to look good. And the thing that I respect of Pep today is that his tactics on bringing Grealish on that caused an overload in the midfield because Grealish would drop, he'll cut in into the middle, and that's more man in the middle against Ericsson. So he knew what he was doing bringing Grealish in. Usually he'd play Doku, but Grealish was always going to cut in
Yeah,
and just
and
over the middle.
hold the ball, no turnovers. He's gonna keep it safe. It was Doku. Doku might beat his man more, but he might lose it more.
Lose
And
it
he's on the
more.
counter.
Grealish is going to hold the ball,
Exactly.
Yeah,
cut
he's
in,
smart.
play in the
He's
middle,
smart
and it's just
because it makes it less of an emotional game.
Yeah,
And he's got Doku in his back pocket
Mm.
to bring out, if it's a tight 0-0 game or we're losing, just bring out Doku. Everyone's tired, and then he can do his thing. So Pep's playing chess, man.
And I think Pep likes United. You know, I think he wants because Pep always speaks so well about Man United. He always speaks well about us.
And Pep is the funniest guy because I remember he said about Nunez, Mateus Nunez is the best midfielder in the world. Before he signed him, they signed him, and they asked him about it. He goes, "Nah, I was joking. I was joking."
Yeah,
And
they
he
burst
just
for bubble, man. He likes us, man.
no. I think
Oh, I hate it
no.
here.
He just talks just to talk, innit?
Yeah, no, I think he genuinely likes. He's got respect for the historical Man United, and
Oh
I
yeah,
think it
yeah,
saddens him to see
yeah,
what's happened at United. So he's always trying to talk up United because he knows historically what we were.
Nah, Andy doesn't want to make it an emotional game as well.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
if it's
yeah.
just
Yeah,
talent versus talent, only one winner.
ritual.
But yeah, that's that. Shout out to them. Let's continue with Sunday's action. Liverpool 3, Nottingham Forest 0. Yeah, Liverpool are rolling. They're going
You said they're done for. That's what you said. I said they're back.
yeah, I still don't think they're back. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a hater. I'm still unconvinced by that midfield, even though they're good.
Haven't they played a hell of a lot of home games? When are they playing away? Is every week they're at home?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
true.
they
It
played
seems
away
like they're
last
at
week
home.
still.
Huh?
They played away last week. They played Liverpool this
Two.
year. I don't know. I can't
No,
remember. But they make
no,
every game
at
feel
home
like
against Everton.
They're
was
at
it
home
home?
again.
Yeah, that was at home.
Didn't they play Brighton?
They played Brighton, yeah, and they were just Brighton.
Wasn't that Brighton away?
Yeah, it was. Then they won
Yeah,
that.
they beat two, wasn't it 2-1 or 3-1?
It was 2 or 3-1
How long
Yeah.
ago was that?
before international break. It was 2-2 actually. We finished 2-2 away from home.
Yeah, that's
The
what I'm
thing with
saying. Yeah,
Liverpool
it
is
seems
that
like they have played a lot of home games.
Hell of a
they
lot of
turn
home.
every game into a home game. Like the fans are there, the managers always onto the referees. The players are they're not emotional. They're just killers, straight killers. They just do what they got to do.
But yeah,
They're
man,
back.
they're going under the radar. They keep winning, and the impressive thing is the amount of goals that they're scoring on a consistent basis.
The amount of chances they create, the goals they put a lot of pressure on the defense, and they're so direct.
Yeah,
And the athleticism of Nunez and
Nunez
Salah,
is crazy.
Szoboszlai, and Gapco. Diaz didn't play today, but I think, and Jota. Physically, they're pretty good in the final third. Like they can stretch teams, make it difficult for them. So it's a handful for teams.
And shout out flipping Mohamed Salah. Can't stop scoring. The guy is
yeah,
back this season, man. He's trying to get that move. I'm telling you, Salah. Yeah, man. He's top 2 Liverpool player of all time, man.
yeah, man. Shout out to him. And yeah, I guess another reason why I'm saying Liverpool ain't back, because that midfield ain't in the mode of prime Liverpool like a couple years ago, I need to see it battle tested. That prime Liverpool with Henderson, Milner, and Wijnaldum. That was Fabinho as well. I can't forget him. That was battle
Alright.
tested. I knew
You'll
what they
see.
were about.
And it's still
That
early.
midfield have- yeah.
It's still early, and you're not playing teams fighting for points just yet.
Yeah,
Just yet.
that
You might not
midfield ain't
see
battle
Liverpool are back. That midfield
No,
is
no,
raw.
no, 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 no. Let me
I'm
not.
telling you, that
I'm-
midfield is very,
let
very
me
raw.
let me be clarified. Liverpool are back, but I feel like
I think this midfield is better than their previous midfield.
No, it's not.
It's just
Technically, on the ball,
they just need
It's
to
not.
gel. That midfield is better
It's
technically than the previous one. I'm telling you. You wait.
Technically, I think, like I said, why not? I think
That's like
Gravenberch is
20%.
better than Wijnaldum on the ball.
And that's about it, though.
No, McAllister
McAllister.
and Boxler.
No.
And Gravenberch.
I'm saying Gravenberch on the ball is better than Ronaldo, and that's it. I'm saying everything else is Winnie. Ginny Wijnaldum, yeah, he can dribble better. He can get box to box.
Let's wait and see.
I don't know about
Let's
that,
wait
man.
and see. Let's wait and see. It's still too early, but I think that midfield is the real deal. That attack is serious. That attack is serious.
Yeah, without Diaz as well.
They've got so many attackers. Yeah, that attack is serious.
Lads, it's not in Forest though. Come on.
Now Liverpool, they're serious. They're a problem. They're a problem. I'm telling you, Liverpool back, man.
It's not in
Liverpool
Forest. It's not in Forest, man. Come on.
Listen, Liverpool fans, I believe.
I want you to even play. I want you to even play.
I want you in scored since at the start of the season.
Since Man U.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They come Man U, turn up the rest of the season. Yeah.
He's gone ghost.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Until, like I said,
It's a long season. When it gets
season.
cold, when them teams need to defend for their lives. It's going to be three games.
Liverpool's in the cold. They live in the cold.
Trust me, it's different when you go away from home and teams need to
park
the bus.
Random Wednesday night at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, man.
That's when these men thrive. That's when
the
referees ear.
So McAllister, no way.
We haven't seen it. We haven't seen Nunez thrive yet.
The power of Klopp. That guy's he's in the referee's ear every minute. I'm telling you,
we'll see, man. What I'm saying is we'll see. I believe they're back, but we'll see. It's a long season. Season.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, yeah, let's move through to the next game. Aston Villa 3, Luton 1.
Routine win.
Luton.
Yeah,
they're saying Aston Villa 12 consecutive home game victory.
No, they're a problem, you know. They're actually a problem.
I said the start of the season. I said it. Start of the season, Villa a problem. I said it.
You were a bit shaky after that 4-0 against Newcastle.
I was a bit like, I was like, yo, but I said it start of the season. So, yo, Villa going to be a problem. They were one of my dark horses. They're a problem. I like that signing of Diaby. I've been saying it, and he's been producing.
Yeah, got a goal. They're doing this thing. Watkins is doing this thing. Yeah, they're a good team, man. They're a good team under a good manager.
Yeah, again,
what's it? Is it Luiz?
Balling out.
Douglas Luiz. Baller.
Like, this is what I'm saying too. Like, United should look within the league, just like Arsenal did. Luiz is there for you if you really want to go get him, and he's be your best at the mid.
I think City got a buyback clause in them.
I don't know, but I also tried to get him for like 30 mil last year, but then they said no.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's players in the league for you. Like Mark Gay, he's right there for you.
With United right now, with the structure that we have, players are coming and look bad. We don't have the structure to accommodate anyone right now. Players are coming and look bad.
Yeah, what I'm saying is talent in the league, and I feel they're gettable.
They're gettable, but the thing is, we don't have the structure to actually use these players the way we should. So it's a waste of time. We just need to get rid of the manager, sell the club, and then start from scratch.
Yeah, man. Let's move to the next game. Arsenal. Let's go Arsenal. Arsenal 5. Sheffield 0. Shout out to Nketiah.
That's he's gonna be. Yeah, I told you, man. He's the 12th best striker in the league. Told you, man. Top 10 striker.
Nketiah had a good day. He showed his quality. Nketiah, I feel like you really saw what he could do, especially the first goal. He has that ability in him to have moments of brilliance, and the second goal was just him poaching, that's his bread and butter. what I was really surprised about was that third goal. That third goal really impressed me.
Crazy.
Eddie's got levels to go. I feel he just needs time to play, and he hasn't ever had that in his career. And I keep saying that he's never ever played a full season ever, because people have been in front of him, circumstances didn't work out. Yeah, and I feel like if he does leave, I think he will, because Arsenal needs to get to the top level. Wherever he goes, you're going to see the best of him by the time he's 28, 29, I feel. Because he's actually hardly played football. He's hardly started, and he started like about 15 games last year, and started about 7 this year max. He started the most like this early into the season ever in his career. So yeah, it was a good day. You want to say something, Dens?
No, I was thinking, it reminds me of Jermaine Defoe. Jermaine Defoe gets goals, but no one at the top level really like rated him. No one was like, none of the top clubs went in for him, but he always got his goals.
Like I said, I remember I said this. Why do we feel Jackson's better than Eddie Nketiah? Remember when I said that? Nicholas Jackson. That? People bigging up Nicholas Jackson early on in the season.
Yeah.
Oh no, even when the season started, and I said he's even better than Ollie Watkins. Like there's people. What I'm trying to say is that
first of all, don't put Ollie Watkins' name in that like he's some kind of scrub. Rate Watkins. The way he said he's even better than Ollie Watkins. Nah, Ollie Watkins is up there, man.
But that's what people are saying. That's what he's saying.
No, I'm saying people were rating Jackson so high.
Yeah.
At the start of the season, back in September, getting ratings from. And what I'm trying to say with Eddie, I feel like he can get to be a top striker in the league, but until he has like 3-4 seasons. Well, 2 seasons, I'll say, under his belt from start to end, where he gets all these mistakes out of him and his bad games. But yeah, he stepped up. Who else? Yeah, it was an easy win, routine win. We struggled a bit in the first half, but with them kind of games, once you score first, the floodgates open. And yeah, it was a good day in the office. I'm happy for Tomiyasu scoring his first goal. ESR started. He didn't wow me. But it's good that he started. I feel like he was starting midweek. And yeah, we keep rolling, man. I don't think we even played our best football, and we're second, 2 points off top. And we've had a lot of we haven't had that many good games. And we've had load of injuries. Jesus injured again. Partey's injured again. I'm ready to get rid of Partey. I'm done. We need someone more consistent.
Yeah.
He's someone more reliable. He's an amazing player, but if you're only amazing 30% of the season, what's the point? Yeah, but we got West Ham midweek. I'm not too fussed about that. Certain fans want to win that game, play a strong team. It's only the Carabao Cup. I don't care about that. But yeah.
What?
What?
You going on like you are guaranteed a trophy? Every trophy is.
No, I don't. I do not care about the Carabao Cup. Not one bit. Not in the slightest. I'll play the youngsters. I'll be real. I'll play the youngsters.
Interesting.
Just rest everybody.
Yeah. Let's move to the next game. Chelsea 0, Brentford 2. Third game in a row at Stamford Bridge that Brentford have won. Yeah, man. After that good performance against Arsenal, boy.
That draw against Arsenal was a bad result for Arsenal. Now looking at how Chelsea played, but we know what Chelsea is. Against the big teams, they step up. Against the small teams, they're gonna get beat because they can't break down a defense, a settled defense rather. Even if you look at last week against Arsenal, the goals they scored was a fluky penalty and a fluky shot. Yeah. Outside of that, they didn't really do anything.
Yeah,
and yeah, they need to spend way more money. I feel like defense it's not the greatest. Fullback's not the greatest. Midfield, not the greatest. Striker, winger.
I think they're okay defensively. They just need to be coached better. I think they've got the personnel. Yeah, they just need to be coached better. Midfield, I think they still need someone to go with Enzo. Someone that complements Enzo.
Someone that can unlock her defense. I don't feel they have that.
Yeah.
They don't have that. Like if Cole Palmer is your best creator, that's not really a good sign.
And Nkunku's coming back. I keep telling you, man.
You might not see the best of him until like May because he's been out for so long.
And he's a baller, man. He'll come back and do.
He's not settled, but yeah, we'll see.
They got the players. They're just going through a growing growing pains right now because they've got a lot of young players. They ain't got real experience in the team. And that's what happens with young players. They're up and down. 1 week they're up, next week they're down. Chelsea they're gonna be all right. Brentford, one of the teams they can get anyone.
Well, when you say all right, what does that mean?
I don't think they're gonna make Europe. At least not Champions League this season, but I think moving forward, within the next couple of
That's
years,
not all right. That's
not good enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a project, and they've already said it's a 5-year project. So
£1 billion a project now.
It's not good enough. Man.
Well, what's 2 billion? Guaranteed title.
If you're signing only young players and no one with experience, then clearly there's a project going on. If they're signing established players, then you could say it's not good enough. But they're signing all the best young players right now. So it's clearly a project that they're trying to build. They're trying to build for a longevity. So yeah, Brentford are one of them ones they can get at anyone. That's what Brentford do. They got United last season. They gave Arsenal a taste on Martel's birthday. They get at anyone.
Yeah, man. But yeah, shout out to Brentford, clean sheet, and Boimo, top player.
I've been saying it. Hey,
I watched that.
Halftime said I've been saying it. And Boimo, I like that guy, man. He's still 24.
You all laughed at me. Well, I have to say,
his hairline's
you're
gone
not
there at
laughing
24.
now, are you?
That's mad.
Every time I tell someone he's 24, they don't believe it. They think he's like 36.
Yo, that LeBron James hair, man. Yeah, he needs to go to Turkey, get that thing sorted out. But before he does that, yeah, he's a solid player.
Yeah, he's
very
good.
Industrious. I like him.
Mbeumo or Nicholas Jackson?
Mbeumo.
Mbeumo. Because Mbeumo
Rashidi. Mbeumo Bruno. Mbeumo.
He was showing moments of like quality, like real quality. And I didn't realize. I thought he was raw, but no, he was showing quality in that game.
Mbeumo or Højlund?
I'm taking Mbeumo right now.
Højlund for me. I think Man United are making Højlund look bad. Højlund's the top player.
You sure about that? Because Højlund looks a bit like raw. Looks his decision making. He hasn't got like nous.
Yeah.
He's a bit raw. Like he's just a bit like I'm trying 100% every single thing action I do. I'm not going to try and win a penalty. He should have tried to win a penalty today.
He should have fallen on the floor. He was too honest.
An experienced player would have like felt the contact to got a penalty.
Because that was a pen. That was a pen. But yeah, let's not talk about United, man. We've given him enough time.
Yeah, but Bremer's a good player. He's a good player. So,
I like him, man.
Again, he's if someone's improved the team, he's right there for them. He's right there.
Yeah, man. Solid team, Brentford. Shout out to them for the victory. Let's do Wolves 2, Newcastle 2.
Good result for Wolves.
Yeah.
I saw that game a little bit. Like, Newcastle didn't look that great. I feel like they got a soft penalty as well. A very soft penalty.
Down the season. They're not.
No, Newcastle are a good team, but I thought away from home, they're different from at home. At home, they're a different beast.
I think it's that Champions League, man. That
it's starting to bother them.
Wednesday, and then they play. Was it Wednesday?
Yeah, against Dortmund.
Wednesday, then Saturday.
And they've lost Tonali now. They've lost Isak as well. So they're downgrading that team right now.
Yeah, let's
shout out to that Korean guy, man.
Yeah, that was a great goal. That turn, the way he's cutting with his left foot. Yeah,
shout out to him.
Wolves, they create bags of chances. Well, bags of final third moments. They just make the wrong decision all the time, unless it's
they just poor finishing.
Poor finishing, wrong pass, and Neto got injured too.
Yeah, that's
he got another assist. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's see how Eddie Howe handled this, because this is a little challenge now. Because that game against Dortmund that they lost in the Champions League, that was a very intense game. The fans were up for it. A lot of running, a lot of energy expended. And now you're coming away from home. Yeah, it's not easy, man. This is what separates the top teams from the others.
Basically. Then got a midweek game against United and then Arsenal. So 2 big games.
United in a big game.
No, it always is. Trust me, everybody wants to have the good game at United.
Yeah, man. But yeah, let's wrap up the rest of the action. Well, let's do what? Brighton 1, Fulham 1.
Brighton are not good.
Got a goal.
Brighton, I watched a bit of that game. Brighton are not good. They're very average this year.
Yeah, man. It's that midfield. They're missing
Quality. They're missing
Caicedo,
quality.
McAllister.
They're lightweight. The wingers that they got some wingers that are not trustworthy. Yeah, just I'm missing Enciso too. Remember, Enciso got injured at the start.
Oh
the year.
yeah.
Enciso was stepping up. That's the end of last season. Now they've missed him. He's gone for the year.
Bro, from when you're starting Adam Lallana in 2023.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big problems. That's all I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go to the next game. West Ham 0, Everton 1. Again, I'll actually watch this game. I think Everton played in the Europa League.
Everton, no.
West Ham.
West Ham played in the Europa League.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look flat against Everton. Again,
they need a striker, though.
Oh my God.
They need a striker.
They are dying. They need a striker, man. Antonio's not it.
Antonio's a fraud, man. He started the season like he was a madman. He got all
every
the
year,
and died.
Every year he does that. And he said he'll bang 30 goals at City. Mate.
He got all the plaudits and then disappeared.
He'd be a good striker to bring off the bench, but he can't be your starting striker. He's not good enough.
He'd be a good striker in the Championship.
But West Ham,
he's getting a bit older.
West Ham got a good team though, but today I saw a little bit of it. It was they allowed Everton to look good, better than what they were. Everton were dominating play in the first half.
It's fatigue from Europe.
Yeah, they got a good team. Kudus look good. Kudus look lively.
And I think the balance of the team's off. Paqueta, I don't think you can play Paqueta, Kudus and Bowen.
There, it's too much.
Yeah, it's too indirect.
Paqueta's a bit too loose with the ball. He tries too many things.
Yeah, he's slightly a Bruno Fernandes, you know.
No. Respect Chris Paqueta. Respect him.
He's better, but his turnover ratio is a bit mad.
Yeah, like
he turns the ball over a lot. That's what I mean by he's slightly Bruno-ish in terms of his
dribble, man. He doesn't have to dribble him. Just pass the ball, and he gets picked off.
Because last week he was costing them. He kept turning the ball over, and they kept getting counted off it.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem is him and Kudus. You can't play them in the same team because they want to do the same thing. They want to be like go-to player that you get the ball to, they'll drive it on or they'll pass it on. They want to be that guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, Moyes has to make a choice. And then shout out to Everton. Tough away victory.
I got I don't know if this sounds wrong, I don't want to say this, but I got a player that I like a lot, and it's Onana. I'm gonna do Onana. I really wish I like him a lot. He's a good player.
Hey, play that soundtrack. What did I say at the start of the season? Yeah, I wanted Onana United.
Well, I have to say, you're not laughing now, are you?
I did. I wanted Onana United.
I don't know. He's good.
I like him, man.
Still a bit raw. He still needs coaching a little bit.
Mount.
Those physical tools and his technical ability.
Yeah.
Eventually, if you get it together, he's going to be peak. He's going to be so long.
That's the thing. You know, these kind of players, they're the kind of players that will never get it together, but they can get away with it because the physical skills. But if he under the right coach that gets the best out of him, monster.
If you give him a free license to just do what he needs to, just be everywhere. Yeah. He's a good player, man. He's a good player.
Man. I like him a lot.
Problem is, to get him away from Everton, you got to probably overpay for him like 70 million. He's not worth that. That's the problem.
I reckon 50 million will get him.
Yeah, that might do the job.
But even then,
is he worth 50?
I mean, the market, if Martin is worth 55, then Onana is definitely worth 50.
The thing is,
you're not wrong there.
Onana, you pay for him, but you'd be like, 10 games in, you'd be like, what did I pay for?
Onana needs to be like the last piece. He's not the main midfielder for you. I'm thinking from an Arsenal perspective. Imagine an Odegaard, Rice, and Onana midfield. Just physically, we're not getting outmatched anybody, anywhere, any place.
That's a big problem, you know. I can't even like.
I'm saying, just think about that.
Yeah, they put that into the atmosphere, but I went quiet, bro. I just thought about it.
You know, every week I get annoyed. Every week I get annoyed with Havertz money being spent on Havertz. 65 million on Havertz. Imagine if we bought a proper centre mid. Our team would be.
Hey, my brother, welcome to the table, man. Every week I complain about.
That went through my head, you know. I was like, "Wow, what do you say?"
That's a Rice or no,
Declan Rice and Odegaard. Oh my!
I said raw.
DOD.
Physically,
big problem.
We are bodying everybody. Going any place, anywhere. up for the fight. But yeah,
It'd be a mad thing.
yeah,
You know, I have to give the Corey his flowers as well.
yeah.
He is a
He's
problem,
getting
man.
better. He's starting to pick up because the start of the season wasn't great.
I
And he's
think
old. He's old as
yeah,
well.
like he's not the youngest, but I think he's been their best player. A big goal for them. And he's not even that kind of player.
People are bigging up the Braithwaite guy for the centre back. I haven't seen much of him. People like him though.
He played, I
Nice.
think he got man in the match.
And he's only 20 years old, 21. He's young.
He looked decent. He looked solid, but let's see. I don't want to gas him up at these commentators. But yeah, shout out to Evan. Tough victory. Let's see what they can do. Yeah, let's round out the rest of this action. Bournemouth 2, Burnley 1. Burnley, another L. Good victory for Bournemouth. Yeah, man. We'll see. Nothing really else to say about this game.
And Palace 2, Palace 1, Spurs 2.
Yeah.
Good win for Spurs, man.
Boy, I'm not going to say our Spurs title contenders because we said that last season and they fell off.
I'll say it for you. They are. Because Spurs have only got they got one game a week.
What?
They got Europe to worry about, and they look like they got their things their ish together now. They got that cam that they so desperately needed. What's his name? That Korean guy. What's his name? Heung-min Son. Son up top. I didn't believe it, but he's actually doing a job. Son's doing a job. He holds the ball well. Good finishing, bringing players into the team. Maddison's been a revelation for them. He might be a sign of the season.
But what do you say
come
about
back.
What do you say about Son all the time, El Caps?
He's a purple patch bandit.
No, but you know where this is different. It's different because Son, if you give him chances, he's gonna back. If he's not getting them chances, he obviously won't back. I feel like in this team he's gonna get chances.
I think aside from chances, I think the responsibility on his head as well, being captain, being the focal point of the team, is different. The style of football that they're playing as well, with Maddison as well behind him, it's different. I'm seeing different things and the midfield, they might secretly have one top 4 midfield in the league. Basuma, Sarr, Maddison, that's crazy. They got the technicality, they got the physicality. That midfield has got everything.
My issue with them is that I think inevitably, well, it's going to be incredibly lucky if they get no injuries. If you get an injury, I feel like it's kind of either to one of Son or Maddison, and I think by probability they're going to get injured. One of them.
Yeah, the two. I think the two. What was that?
They got to do business in Jan.
Yeah, the two relying on Son and Maddison, in my opinion. If I was playing them, just shut down Maddison. Shut down Maddison, they're not scoring.
Nah, because what's his name? Basuma's doing his thing as well. He'll find pockets of space.
He keeps
and then the thing
is he going to create clear-cut chances on a consistent basis?
Good. And then they got Højbjerg is coming back. Bentancur's back from injury. They're getting players coming back from injuries. And then Brennan Johnson as well. Don't forget Brennan Johnson. He's a good signing. He got the assist. Didn't he get the assist for the winner?
I'm not sure. But what I will say with Spurs, I think they're here to stay. And Ange is a good manager, and I feel like he knows what his team needs. From what I've seen, what he can do with players that were discarded last year, and the way he can make use of players' abilities, and he recognizes that. And yeah, if they start signing if they make Champions League this year and start getting the right signings, they're gonna kick on. There's no doubt about it.
They've been making good signings. Like Ange was a great signing. No one mentioned Ange as a potential Spurs manager. Vicario, the keeper, he's looking good. Van der Ven, the centre back, very very good player. So they're making some very very good. Pedro Porro when they signed him, great signing.
But on a low, Spurs have spent a lot of money. Pedro Porro was like 50 M's. Richarlison 60 M's. Who else did they spend money on? It's supposed to spend a fair bit of bob. So
Well, guess what? They got 100 M's back for their Lord and Savior.
yeah.
So yeah, the money's been reinvested. Sar came back into the fold.
Yeah.
Basuma's
yeah.
back.
That's
Madison. They've got a very good team.
That's one of the things I'm impressed by. That you brought up, SB, the way the players that were discarded under Conte, he's brought back to life. Bissouma, because everyone knew Bissouma had something in him. So what was the issue? Don't know. And then Mate Sarr as well. I didn't
But
think he
players
had.
that were loved by Conte, he's discarded. Dyer, Eric Diabolicals on the bench.
All them stiff players.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go rid of all of them, man.
Yeah.
What's his name? Højbjerg.
Yeah.
You would have
Yeah,
thought
bench.
he would be bench.
Yeah.
Like under Mourinho and under Conte, he was like indispensable.
Yeah,
One of the
benched
first names
him.
on the team sheet.
Yeah.
Bench. Yeah, so shout out to them. And then yeah, Palace, boy. Yeah, we'll see what
Palace
happens.
played well the last 15 minutes. They had chances.
AU got his mandatory useless goal this season. He always scores the most.
It looked decent towards the end of the game. I'm like, oh, hey, he come alive. But I'm like, I remember that guy's a bozo, man. He's crap. He's just trying to trick me.
But yeah, that's that in terms of the Premier League. I want to talk about this weekend's boxing action, but before that, I have to give Bellingham his flowers. Man.
I watched that game. He was ghost most of the game.
Ghost.
Ghosting. Gabby had him in his pocket.
Oh
and
my
he
God.
got that one chance back. I was like, yep. Yeah, he's on it. He's clutch. He's clutch. He ghosted all game, got that one chance back, wrapped it. I was like, yep.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like he's known as a long-range shooting specialist, but it's just something within him that
He's got an X factor, bro.
Yeah.
That he just manages to pull it out.
His first El Classico rose up to the occasion.
When he hit that ball, that was out of pure frustration because he was having a shit game. You see how he didn't celebrate afterwards. He was having a shit game, so he just licked it, bins, didn't celebrate, and then got the winner. That guy is pure X factor, man.
Yeah,
he's a good player, man. But what's most impressive is that I think I heard a stat that he only got 8 goals last year. So he's not even been a goal scorer in his career.
13 this season.
And he's already got 13, so he's adding that to his game. Well, he's been utilizing that way, whereby he can score goals. But yeah, I mean, the boy's special. But that's the thing with Barcelona. Like they're all, for many years, they've been all pizzazz and flair and Cruyff turns and tricks and that. But you know, when it counts, they need to step up. And yeah, they didn't step up yesterday.
Yeah, watching them, they ain't really got no substance to their team, you know.
They got a lot of injuries though.
Yeah, they were missing them. De Jong.
Did Pedri play? Pedri's still injured, right?
No, Pedri's still injured.
Lewandowski didn't play.
Rafinha's on the bench.
Oh,
yeah, Lewandowski came back.
Yeah. But you can tell Real Madrid's team full of physical athletes and they're just ready. They'll be keep it tight at least. Rudiger and Alaba are gonna keep it tight.
Vinny had a poor game, man, and then he instead of coming off, he was trying to beef the assistant ref. I'm like, bro, get your leave that one. I don't like that, man. He ain't been that good this season, Vinny.
Nah, that's the thing. He's a top player, but you see,
I feel. Yeah, go. Sorry, go on.
The difference between a Vinny and like a Ronaldo, like players of that top level, it's like they got the ability and that X factor. He's just got the ability. In my opinion, he doesn't have the X factor. I
feel he's missing Benzema. He needs a focal point. They're not playing with a striker. They're playing Rodrigo and Vinny up top.
Yeah.
If he hadn't played with a proper striker, he has someone to play off and go 1v1 on the wing.
No, but even like a lot of the time, he had opportunities one-on-one.
He was running into man. He was moving like Rashford.
I didn't watch the game, but I feel like if he had a focal point, he
would help him.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's
because what's his name? Araujo had him on smash.
Yeah,
he's a good player, Araujo. He's a good player.
Shout out to Bellingham. Shout out to Kane as well. Got his hattie. Halfway line goal.
Yeah, man, stop padding.
Yeah, but let's quickly move to this weekend's boxing action. This weekend, that Battle of the Baddest took place. Tyson Fury.
That title sounds it sounds like a flipping bashment rave, you know.
Tyson Fury.
You would have thought it was a
Francis
bashment
Ngannou.
rave. You would have thought it was a bashment rave with the entrances, with the ceremony.
Oh, they're going ham.
Yeah, they went in. Shout out to Saudi. The ring raising up from the ground.
Yeah, shout. They brought our flow down from the. Where was he,
bro?
How did he even find him? Why him?
Yo,
Flo down, you know.
I was like, man, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, that guy looks familiar. Who is this?
Flo, I was like, raw. Because he, France and Ghana made a song in it for this fight, and he was on it. Him, Lil Baby, and someone else.
Yo, but
yeah,
how?
I don't know. Boy, Flo down, you know.
I was like, mad. Yeah, shout out to them, man.
Yeah, shout out to him. But yeah, good event from Saudi, and then the fight itself. Tyson Fury split decision. A lot of people are saying it's a robbery.
It wasn't a robbery. The thing is, a lot of fans are very emotional when it comes to boxing. Like how I scored it, and with boxing, you have to remember, every round is scored 10 or 9. With regardless of how well someone won the round, unless there's a knockdown, the rounds are scored 10-9. So what happened was that in the rounds where what's his name, Ngannou won, he won them big. He looked good. They were impressive. The rounds that Fury won were quiet rounds. He stole the rounds. There was the rounds that Fury was winning, Francis wasn't doing nothing. And Fury was just jabbing, moving, boxing, and winning those rounds. But then the rounds that Ngannou would win, he would look brutal. He'd be throwing the punches. He's looking active. He's looking like a killer. But I think he won about 4 rounds. But the 4 rounds that he did win were big. And the 6 rounds that Fury won were quiet. So people were like, oh my gosh, Ngannou got robbed. He didn't get robbed. If you're scoring it as a judge would score it, then Fury deserves to win the fight on the scorecards. Having said that, I don't think Fury properly trained for the fight. I don't think he respected Ngannou enough. Even during his interviews, he kept saying, I'm going to knock him out. I'm going to knock out that Dawson. And then his dad was trying to take all the attention out here, trying to bet Mike Tyson. And I wish Francis won that fight so that his dad would have to call in that bet. Because he said, if Francis wins that fight, I'll fight Mike Tyson. His dad definitely bribed the referees. He definitely went to the judges and gave him a hug and ran out of the arena as quick as he could. Because if Francis won and he had to fight Mike Tyson, he'd be in heaven. He would die.
One thing I will say, I think there's a lot of agendas out there in terms of people shouting robbery. It was a close fight, but I think, especially with the MMA community, because most people are seeing it as Ngannou versus Fury. The MMA community are seeing it as like MMA versus boxing.
Yep.
So you see it
vice versa.
Yeah,
the boxing community like, Fury disgraced boxing. This is a set boxing back. How can he fight a non-boxer? And styles make fights. And Ngannou has fought before. He's been a kickboxer, MMA fighter. He's got the ring presence. He knows how to deal with pressure. He's been in big title fights. He fights for a living, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that he can actually fight.
I will say, in all reality, Tyson Fury should smoke Ngannou. He should smoke it. The thing about Tyson Fury is that he fights to the level of his opponent. Because early in Tyson's career, he was in some wars with some bums that no one even knows about.
Yeah.
Total wars. And then you saw how he got knocked down by Cunningham. But when it comes to rising to the occasion, fighting the Klitschko's and Wilder, you see how he rises to it. So, and then even when he fought Otto Wallin, didn't take him seriously, nearly got beat.
Yeah, that was life and death as well. That was war.
Yeah. So he always fights to the level of his opponent.
You say that, but then when he fought Chisora and Dillian White, he showed him Wagwan as well. So he's shown recently that he can rise above and show boxers beneath him Wagwan. Because he made Dillian look like a small boy.
Dillian White, with all due respect, is washed. And I think he was injured. The way he was fighting, I think he was injured that fight. And he did say he was injured and he got surgery. because
And he didn't
looked
take the
off.
steroids.
Yeah, yeah. Chisora, boy, yeah, that's easy work for Fury. Styles made fights, like you said. That Chisora style is tailor made for Fury.
Yeah, now that fight, what like the people are saying, oh, Fury this, Fury, yeah, Fury looked bad, 100%. But you see why the AJ fight is interesting, and you see why they're calling for that fight. And I've been saying that AJ and Fury will be a good fight. Because regardless of what you think of AJ, it's going to be a good fight. Fury showed yesterday what happens when he can't lean on the man. He couldn't lean on Ngannou. Ngannou was too strong. Ngannou was not going to allow it. He was using his forearm to keep. He was pushing Fury off of one arm and dashing an uppercut with the other arm. He wasn't allowing it. So Fury couldn't. He didn't have that get out of jail card to lean on the man and weigh them out and tire them out like he did with Wilder. And that's why that AJ fight is interesting for me, because AJ is strong as well. You can't just lean on AJ.
I think Ngannou is much stronger than AJ, and I think there's not too much. Although they look different, I don't think there's too much of a difference in strength between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Remember, Ngannou only weighed like 6 pounds less than him. If Joshua and Fury were to fight, Fury would have like 15 pounds in him. So you got to factor that in as well. Pound for pound, yeah, AJ's stronger, but Tyson Fury's a bigger man.
He's bigger, but I'm saying when you see the fight yesterday, you can see how AJ will feel confident. Fury can't bully him like he does at other people, can't use his weight advantage. If you're saying they're equally as strong as each other, then he can hold off Fury just as much as Fury can hold him off. AJ can, he's got the fundamentals, he can bang with both hands as well. So that makes the fight very interesting for me now. And when you think about the Usyk fight, it's kind of lost a bit of his glamour because the world heavyweight champion just got he just went life and death with a UFC fighter, MMA fighter, who's having his first boxing fight. And there's different fights that can happen now. What happens with Ngannou versus AJ, Ngannou versus Wilder? I'd love to see those fight. How does Usyk deal with Ngannou? Because Ngannou's fearless. Usyk can't. They don't have the power to hurt him. Fury couldn't hurt him. Usyk can box him, but Ngannou showed that. I'm here. I'm swinging. I don't fear nothing.
You know, in terms of people saying it's a disgrace to boxing and everything, I think what people need to realize is heavyweight boxing is different to anything else. With heavyweight boxing, it's not so much about technique. It's about power, strength and power. That's a more of a deciding factor than in the lower weight divisions. If you notice, the higher the weight divisions go, the higher the knockout percentages. If you look at people like at flyweight in them, and they're not knocking out anyone. You don't really find like major knockout artists in the lower weight classes. That's why it's rare to see someone like Inoue. That's why people are making such a big deal of him, because he's able at the lower weight classes to knock people out. You rarely see
Pacquiao back in the day as well.
Yeah,
knocking
Pacquiao.
People.
So,
and remember, heavyweights is why they say, that's why they always say, like your point, punches, like it takes one punch to win a fight with the heavyweights, because that's really what it's about. One punch can change the whole scene of the fight. Look at Mike Tyson versus Buster Douglas. One punch changed the whole fight. Tyson was winning that fight till the 11th round. One bang, boom, done.
Look at Deontay Wilder. If Deontay Wilder was a welterweight,
Louise wraps him up. He was losing every round, and then that one bang saved him from Louise.
Yeah. Wilder can't have that style and be a welterweight. There's no way. But because he's a heavyweight, and heavyweight is a lot about power and strength, he's able to prosper and become world champion. But he wouldn't even be a pro at a lower weight class, Deontay Wilder.
And by your very point, that's why the AJ Fury fight makes a lot of sense and is intriguing, because if it's not so much about the technicality of it, then AJ's got a very good chance, because AJ's got the physical attributes, he's got the strength, and he's got the power. So that's why that fight is impressive.
When have we seen that AJ though? When have we seen, the killer AJ?
We've seen in the past, and with this fight, what has AJ got to lose? And with Usyk, he was trying to get his belts back, so he was trying to be methodical. He's trying to fight a smaller guy who's more nimble, who's more agile, who's more technical. It's hard to land. But with Fury, he's got nothing to lose. Fury's deemed as the greatest heavyweight in this era. So what has he got to lose against Fury? He's a big target. AJ does well when he fights bigger men.
Yeah,
That's when his uppercut starts coming in. So this fight, like that's why it makes that fight intriguing. And like your point, like if you look at Mayweather versus McGregor, Mayweather made McGregor look like an MMA fighter. He carried him. It was a carry job. There was a clear difference in ability because the power wasn't a problem. But with this fight, Ngannou, power was a problem. Fury felt that. He even got the knockdown in the third round.
Oh, boy, that was a sweet left hook, you know. Sweet left hook. You saw Fury.
I could not believe it.
Yeah, that was crazy, man.
I thought he tripped. And then the replay, like, raw, he banged. No, yo, the power was raw, man.
But yeah, I have to give Francis Ngannou his flowers. Everyone was laughing at him at the open workout, saying, "Look at his technique." I thought his technique, it looked okay. I don't know why people were laughing at it. For MMA fight, it looked, especially heavyweight as well, because like I said, heavyweight is not really about technique. I thought he looked okay.
I think
he was able to do it with live bullets in front of him.
His technique in the workouts looked like someone who just picked up boxing. It did, but that wasn't going to be an issue because he fights for a living. He knows how to fight. So that I was never concerned about how he looks technically because I knew he can fight, but I didn't expect him to do as well as he did. I genuinely thought if he was going to stop him. Yeah, he exceeded my expectations and he's a winner in my eyes. I don't think he won the fight, but he's done a hell of a job.
Yeah, I have to give him his credit because going back when he got released from the UFC, he took a risk. He wasn't happy with the terms the UFC was offering him. He wanted to expand himself, get into these type of fights. So he took a risk and stepped away from the UFC, and now he's reaping the rewards.
Yeah,
and shout out to PFL for, what was that?
I'm saying he deserves it.
Yeah.
Gambled on himself.
Yeah, exactly. And shout out to PFL for signing him and allowing him to have the MMA and do his boxing thing as well. Because now PFL winning because they're going to
get more eyes.
They got the biggest athlete, one of the biggest athlete in combat sports now. And like I said, Ngannou, now he's got options. Can I go back to MMA? Can I go back to boxing? Because any heavyweight boxing fight now, legit interest now. And there's a legit question. Can he beat AJ? Can he beat Wilder? These are legit questions. Ngannou's a bigger, stronger man than both of them. Both Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. So that alone will cause them physical issues. So yeah, shout out to Ngannou, man.
Shout out to Dewey Cooper and Mike Tyson as well, because they did a hell of a job training them. Because he didn't look out of place last night. Yeah,
exactly. Shout out to them. They deserve their credit. And you see that elbow from Fury.
He threw like that, and Ngannou didn't react.
Well, ate that like pounded yam, fam.
Fam, is this all you have? Is in my village we eat fufu?
Yeah, for real.
He took,
I don't know what
he took that with okra stew. Easy work, man. I'm telling you, Ngannou's chin, crazy. Solid. He was taking some crazy right hands from Fury.
Yeah.
It just kept coming. I was like, raw. I was very, very impressed with him. I was very impressed. That's why the coaches deserve so much credit because no one expected what we saw last night. No one expected it. So, like, the only analyst that I even saw that was kind of even given Ngannou a chance was Teddy Atlas. And
I think because he worked with him a little bit as well.
Yeah, he worked with him because he was like, oh, before I worked with him, I was like, but when I worked with him, I was like, wow, okay. Like, he knows he picks things very, very quickly. He's very intelligent. So, shout out to Ngannou, man.
Yeah, that guy's just a spectacular athlete, man.
He's a specimen.
Yeah, specimen. You could probably play in the NFL if you wanted.
He probably could. He's a specimen, and he's got that mindset. When he puts his mind to something, he does it. So, shout out to him, man. Shout out to Saudi Arabia because that was a show. Yeah, if that's how they're moving, I'm tuning in. That was spectacular.
Shout out to Saudi, but please leave Mr. McMahon at home. Leave Mr. McMahon at home.
Bruh!
Where did they dig him up from?
Leave Undertaker, Mr. McMahon at home. Mr. McMahon is on his last legs. You don't need to be in Saudi.
My goodness.
Fam, who told
He's
him
on
to
a-
dye his hair, fam?
Walking stick. I'm like, no, my hero, one of my heroes from my childhood.
Yo, the
man.
billionaire struck an old man walk. What happened?
Bro, ain't that?
That struck. I was like, yo.
We don't need to see it.
I kept hearing Mr. McMahon in it, so I was thinking, he's gonna do the strut. I was like, huh? Who is this? With the mustaches, one. Like, who is this Donny man?
It's not looking good, Bev.
Aye.
It's not
We're
looking
old,
good.
you know,
No, I
'cause
get it.
Mr. McMahon is old.
Everybody gets old, but please, he's too old. Just leave him at home.
No, it rattled me because I'm like, raw, like it brought the sense of reality that like we're actually getting old because Mr. McMahon was like that old guy that could do everything. Now he's like, he can barely walk.
Mm.
And you saw the Undertaker with his pot belly and his
Undertaker
flipping,
looks washed. Oh my god, he looks so washed. Undertaker looks
with that avatar trim. How's that? Is that the Undertaker? What is
Fam,
that?
how, like, what? Saudi is not too far from Turkey, fam. Just made that short journey.
Wow.
Bruh.
Undertaker looking like a coffin carrier. I was like,
Oh.
well, who is this?
Apparently, Vince McMahon got a facelift, so that's why his face was looking like that.
Boy,
I'm sure he's done everything under the sun to look
Oh my
as young
God.
as he did for
For
so
real.
long. I'm sure he's done everything, but please leave the man at home.
man like
real.
Vince.
That shit was sad, man.
Yeah.
That's all right.
The
legends.
walking stick rattled.
Oh,
I couldn't
that's-
believe it. It
Yeah.
saddened me, and I was like, "Wow, age is
yeah,
rolling."
that was
Like,
sad.
Yeah.
it catches up to everyone.
Yeah,
What?
well, especially him, because remember back in the day, like he was old, but he was
Wham.
Wham.
Yeah,
He was
you don't
jumping
get
from
that
top
when he was
rows,
like-
the slamming Donnies.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yo, age
yeah,
is
that
rolling,
shit
man.
takes its toll, man.
My goodness.
But yeah, great event
It was a great
overall.
event, man.
Yeah, respect Saudi. Saudi, they go
Yeah.
up above and beyond for what they do. The representation across the world, they want to be represented really well, and yeah, they don't leave no pages unturned. They cover every last detail. I'm sure they got the best of the best in the world to work on that event. I'm sure it's not people from their country. They hired the best across the globe, and it's gonna look like it's all us. So
Yeah,
they're
I mean, it's their money, so it's
Yeah.
them, innit?
Yeah,
I mean, if the tickets are reasonable, if I could get tickets to go Saudi for any boxing event, I'm going because that was an advert. That was nice.
yeah, they do it right. And apparently, the stadium that they built is a temporary one.
They built a temporary one and they built a permanent one. So what happened was the undercards was in a temporary one, and then they moved to do the open ceremony in the new one that they built.
Okay.
Yeah, so the event took place in the new stadium that they built. So that was an opening event for that stadium.
they
And they
got the
brought a
money.
man like Flo down and little baby.
I think Throwdown definitely watched Lil Baby on that track. Lil
Yeah,
Baby was terrible.
Man, come with that deep voice, like yo,
Yeah.
yeah.
But-
it was a good event, man.
Saudi are into boxing, they're into
Golf,
football. And golf. So boy,
Sports is the way, man. It's like it reminds you of American college football. To get your program out there, if your sports are on a higher level, it just makes everything better.
Sports is a universal language. Like everyone speaks the language of sports. Everyone loves sports. So like they're trying to change the image of the country through sports.
Yeah.
There's no problem with that. If you got the money, why not? China tried it. So why not? The Premier League have been doing it for years, La Liga. So why can't they do it? So yeah, all the best to them because at least they're trying to change the image of the country and make it. They're feeding people. People are getting bread from it. So
Yeah, man.
I'm not mad at all. They got plans and ambitions and they're going for it. So why not?
Just a quick one before we wrap up. Does this fight influence who you think would win out of Usyk and Fury?
No, not at all. Like I said before, styles make fights. And this was just an awkward style for Fury. He fought a fighter who's strong enough to keep him off him, who's got crazy power that he has to respect. Usyk is a spectacular fighter, great boxer, but Fury is a great boxer as well, and Fury's too big. He's too big for Usyk.
Yeah.
That's the problem. He's too big. He's 6'9", nearly 300 pounds. Usyk's got 6'3". No, Fury, because Ngannou is 6'4", and Fury did look at least 4 or 5 inches taller than him yesterday.
And
Ngannou looks short next to Fury. He's legit 6'8", 6'9".
And let's be honest, we also be real about this. Fury scheduled the Usyk fight pretty soon after this fight just gone, and he definitely had one eye on the next fight. So
But
if
then
he
he quickly turned out though.
what I'm saying, if he had sole focus on Usyk, which he knows he has to take serious, you get a much better Fury coming out. So yeah, Fury should win that.
He should win, and you said it yourself, Denz. He rises to the level of his opponents. So Usyk, he's going to rise to that occasion. We've seen it before. Yeah, I don't think Usyk has the power to keep Fury off him. And in terms of boxing ability, I'd say they're pretty even. Maybe Usyk's a bit more technical, but Fury's no starch when it comes to boxing ability. He's a pure boxer. He's got the long jab to keep Usyk at bay. He's got the power, and if things start going wrong, he's just going to lean on them anyways. So
yeah, like they say, a good big man usually beats a good little man.
That's it.
But yeah, that's it. Another episode of 245 Sports. Like, share, subscribe. Let us know what you think in the comments. Who'd win? AJ Fury, AJ Ngannou, Usyk Ngannou, Wilder Ngannou, Wilder AJ. But yeah, let us know. And yeah, we're out.